And we've thanked so many people today, but I really want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here this morning, taking the time to celebrate with us. This is a very special occasion for our family and for all of you that have worked so hard in so many ways with this campaign. Thank you. Well, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the man of the hour this morning, my husband, the father of baby Margaret, and of course number 2, that's due 3 weeks before the November election, and my best friend, Ken Hodges. And here's a news flash. I fully recommend and endorse him for Attorney General. I don't think that's any big surprise, but what I think is a surprise to many of you here is why we decided to take this step and why this was the right step for us. Last year, when we first discussed serving Georgia in this way, we were very close, within a month of having Margaret, and Ken had just finished serving 12 years as district attorney in Albany, Georgia. We were beginning a new phase in our life. But Ken and I were both raised in families where service was at the heart of everything, and having a servant's heart was prized above all else. Whether it is watching your father care for women dying of AIDS, or learning the legacy of your grandfather who served as chairperson of your hometown Chamber of Commerce, service came in many forms to us, but always with the same reward, and that's the satisfaction in knowing you're getting involved and lifting up your community. I really think it is remarkable that Ken wants to serve the state he loves, the state he was born and raised in, the state where he has already served with great integrity and courage. Early in the campaign, Ken and I attended an event. It was the Morgan County Democrats dinner, and I want to share this brief story with you. It was one of the very first campaign events I attended after giving birth to Margaret, who I think wants to actually get the mic right now. She's going to have to wait for Mom, and then it's your turn, Margaret. It was the first time I ever heard Ken speak on the campaign trail, and I really remember feeling just so proud of him. Now, all of the candidates for every single race were there, and I mean, they were seriously big names and folks that were practiced in giving speeches. They could rally a crowd. Yet, at the end of an evening, this man came up to us, and he was in a wheelchair, and he had a $50 contribution check in his hand. And he told Ken, he came that night with this check, and it was all he could afford to give to one candidate. And he gave that check to Ken. I really can't think of a better way to say that just as Ken was the one and only candidate for that man on that night in Morgan County, he is my one and only, and he will be a terrific Attorney General. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Hodges.